Ding! The doors opened to the elevator just outside our front door. I walked behind our next-door neighbor, old Mrs. Jenkins, and we both stopped between the elevator door. Mr. Williams, from the 10th floor, was already in the elevator. Another boy my age I hadn't seen before. After the door shut, Mrs. Jenkins turned to me, her eyes shining. "My Lord, Lolly," she said, "you sure are getting grown." "Thank you, ma'am," I said, shifting my weight. The other kid didn't look at me. Just then my phone chirped. I knew it had to be Vega. He had been waiting on me downstairs for a minute. "They finally got around to fixing this elevator," Mrs. Jenkins said. "How's Sue Ellen?" "Fine," I kind of sang. "They got her working too hard down at the courts." I told her I'd said she's blessed to have that job. Thank the Lord. "Yes, ma'am." I was glad for the rest of the elevator ride. She didn't say nothing. Old folks are okay, but I never know what to speak to them. We flew straight to the 7th floor, down to the 1st, with only the pissy elevator smell to focus on. The doors opened. Vega was waiting there. I could only see the back of his shiny black parka until he spun around, rolling his eyes. "Mira, Lolly," he said, "I've been waiting on you forever." "You're dramatic," I said. I watched the boy from the elevator step outside. Before he left, he had passed Vega a look like he wanted to stick him. Vega just glared at him until he disappeared outside the doors of the lolly. Then Vega frowned at me. "You got me waiting on you in my new coat," he said, complaining some more. "Shut up, Applehead. Let's go do this." The D train rumbled along underground with me and Vega sitting inside. It wasn't crowded. It had one of its ugly plastic orange seats between us. Vega was thumbing through the stuff on his phone. I got bored. I pulled out my tablet from my parka and started doodling. I glanced at the subway map again. It was posted just above the pom-pom hat of this old dude sitting beside me. On the map, I could see the number of stops we had to go before we would be getting off. I squinted at the tiny blue line of the map that was supposed to be Harlem River. My eyes raced over the ceiling of the subway car. I imagined the icy river, wet, that was running way up above us. The Harlem River divided Manhattan from the Bronx, and the D train ran in a tunnel from Manhattan to the Bronx, but I had never really thought about that too much at all, that river water above my head. You didn't see the river, so you didn't think about it. New York City was surrounded by water that nobody ever thought about. I lived on an island. Really. An island, inside an island, inside an island. Stranded. I sighed and wondered how many people had died in these waters, either by jumping into them themselves or by somebody pushing them in. How many people had died in New York City since it had been around? A lot of dead, buried bodies, man. I started sketching a river with bodies beneath it on my tablet. We rose up out of the Fordham subway in the Boogie Down Bronx. I don't know why old folks call it that, the Boogie Down. What was a boogie anyway? Was it like a booger? That would be nauseating. I hung the hood of my blue parka over my head and let the rest of my coat float behind me. It was a cold day, but I was feeling hot inside. It took me a minute to figure out which direction to head down the Fordham Road, but Vega had found it already on his map. I scrunched at my face and we started walking. My stomach started to flutter a little, from me being so nervous, I guess. That was a bad day. A bad day to be in Bronx. Lately, my days had been bad days to be anywhere. The badness usually started in the mornings, right after I woke. Sometimes I would wake up carefree. Then it would hit me. Germaine. I would feel that heavy rock grow weightier on my chest while I was lying there on my back, still in bed. The rock would just sink dead into the center of my chest, right into my heart, like it was sinking into mud. "Yo, is Big Rose still eyeballing you in the storage room?" Vegas asked. "She tries to, but Ladybug keeps calling her away." "That's weird." "That is a weird girl, man." Fordham Road was crazy crowded. This street had all kinds of stores and places to eat. It was like 125th Street of Bronx. I kept trying to pay attention to everybody around me, just in case some thug tried to start something. This wasn't our hood. "Yo, man," Vega said, "hope that girl don't go bonkers on you, up in the center, man." "Bonkers?" "Bonkers! Yeah, you know she ain't right." He tapped the side of his head. "She'd be spying on you hard every day you leave the storage room to work on Harmony." I shrugged. Vega was getting dramatic again. Harmony was the name I gave my new city. I'd been adding on more and more towers to the building. A little city had grown around the house of Monte Crom. Man, everything had expanded. I'd figured that I might as well give this new city a proper name, so I picked Harmony, the alien metropolis of Harmony. And I liked it. As we hiked along Fordham Road, I kept looking at the addresses, the sign, and the shops. They had a lot of pizzerias along the street. I'm just saying, Lolly, Vega said. I want to walk in there one day, and you dead, lying in a gunky pool of your own blood. Vega was the crazy one, I thought. And I saw it across the street. That must have been it. Vega stopped blabbering because he'd seen it too. We crossed Fordham Road and stood underneath the big yellow-red sign that said, Block. The nightclub beneath the sign hadn't opened yet. Probably would have been a few more hours later tonight when people would flock there to drink up and party up, like Germaine had been done in October. Block was an ugly place. It wasn't nowhere I would want to hang out. I stood there in the cold, inspecting the building for a while. Vega went and fell down on the curb. I sat beside him, shoved my arms through the sleeves of my parka, zipping it up. I got cold all of a sudden. This is it, man, I told Vega. Yeah, lol, he said. I would have thought they'd shut it down or something after somebody was murdered up in here. I bet if they shut down everywhere in New York where somebody got smoked, there wouldn't be nowhere left to open. I'm sorry, Lolly. Man. Yeah, I said. I felt that rock in my chest grow harder and heavier. This is it, man. Right here. This is the exact spot. The rock got so heavy, I couldn't stand it no more. I busted out crying, sitting there on the curb beside Vega. I don't know how long I had sat there, but after I was done, the rock was gone. Still, I knew it'd come back. Another Lego delivery. Compliments of Yvonne Grayson Incorporated. Yvonne almost shouted everything. She was just like Vega when it came to that. She stepped into my bedroom on Saturday and plunked a heavy bag of Legos onto my rug. I had to start charging, Yvonne told me. I flicked the top of my head. It hurt. Yo, thanks, Yvonne, I said, rubbing my dome. You know, it's my pleasure, sugar, she said. You can use these bricks. Do something beneficial with them. Besides, Tuttle's World would only be trashing them anyways. Why are they always tossing out so many Legos? I asked. It's a lot. Yvonne shrugged. I guess some of these will go out of style. They think they'd be too hard to sell the old ones. Getting new Legos was a good end to a bad day. I needed more nights like this.